Hello, this is your truly Clarissa Talaga, and I am the CEO of Talaga Information and Business Consultancy. And on next week, I think it's the beginning of the week. Next week, I will be at Dole to give my answers in response to some deeply felt uh, complaints and grievance that I echo. It's so hard talaga. And hopefully my answers will bring some kind of comfort because I speak from the heart and it's the truth. So when the show had been canceled, the first to go was the ticket selling. You know what? The series of bad news had started the moment I was notified that the ticket selling did not pass the required, was not permitted due to some illegal activity. So this had to start, and it had happened at the time that we were in need of the fresh capitalization, fresh cash flow. So has remained. Our strength has remained to be as information platform. I am often fascinated by the frequently asked questions about how does a vlogger derive their income, diba? We all have different answers, but basically, um, I cannot relate to some of them because what happened uh, was that financial technology or online transactions did not materialize for us. There are some technical glitches and vulnerability that we had to address, and that's what we did. This time around with TIBC in the last half of 2019, we are going to combine our strength with the strengths of other companies. There is no doubt that we have the numbers and our broadcast is reaching places. But what about sustainability? Without sustainability, that's the financial side of the broadcast. You know, there are misconceptions about the profitability, the what they call it the immorality of so much income. Na parang that's on the other side, and that's a problem that we would have welcomed, but reality says we're on the other side. We are struggling for sustainability. That's why we need to keep talking about the finances. You know, for settlement of the debts incurred in the operation of the IBC in the first half of 2019, it is very clear that fintech is not viable for me and for TIBC in the first half. I don't know what will happen on the second half. That's why I have proposals and propositions submitted. And thank you for responding to the fillers that I sent. I think first and foremost Grab. Although I haven't heard directly from Grab Philippines, there have been other fillers that are in need of clarification and confirmation. I also want to say thank you to Load Mana because as Sir Kevin La Rosa had been very helpful. I cannot find any better business support than what he's doing. Some of the most feasible at this point for us is Calabarzon. Since our strength is online platform, we are now going to develop an offline business processing, an offline transaction in order to go beyond the vulnerability and the technical glitches that had plagued our first half of 2019. So alongside the business processes that needed fixing is the live event that signals the series of small town meetings. I am looking at the supplied requirements from the marketing department of SM MOA in Pasay City, and um, they have provided the requirements, and I'm looking at it as a template because it somehow all the other venues would have this kind of requirements. And it's easy to see that on our own, we are going to fall short of the requirements. So what I'm looking is to combining our strengths with the strengths of other companies. So we are looking at partnership and collaboration. I thank God for my assistant, who I know will be able to do a good job in representing me, in representing the company to these companies who would be interested in the joint venture. So we are going to open shop and combine the strengths and address the weaknesses that so far have uh, proven to be insurmountable in the first half of 2019. So hope floats and what we have on the other side of the same coin, what we have is the most important gain that we can have to proceed to the other half of 2019, and that is the legitimacy of our operation and the contract obligation. Those we've managed to fulfill, and those that are still being worked on this date. So um, we are not being overwhelmed by the demands on our time, on our resources, on our contract obligation. But I look at them as the propeller, the source of legitimacy, the source of the reason why I have to get up in the morning and read the text messages and somehow um, set the time, the preparation for me to be able to answer directly the phone calls that we've been receiving. So hang in there because we are doing all that we can, and this is the business side of any any endeavor like ours. So I'd like to say thank you to those who still believe that together we can make a difference. See you then. Bye.